Yes, so good morning, students. We'll proceed with the lecture from the last time. So just a quick recap of what we have been doing. We've been doing the module on determinants. We have seen how we can calculate determinants, what are the properties. Then we've looked at the Cramer's rule to find the determinant. We've looked at eigenvalues and eigenvectors, where to find the eigenvalue, you need to find the determinant of a minus lambda I equal to 0. And once you find that, then you go ahead and get the values of the lambda. The values of lambda will be equal to the order of the matrix which is given to us, right? So if the matrix given to us is a 2 cross 2 or a 3 cross 3 matrix, then the number of eigenvalues which we will get will be 2 if order is 2 and 3 if the order is 3, right? Then we've seen how we can evaluate the eigenvectors, for which we need to do a minus lambda I into x equal to 0, and x will be the vector which will be a column vector, and depending on the number of lambdas, that is eigenvalues, we'll get the number of vectors. So 2 eigenvalues will give us 2 vectors and 3 will give us 3, right? So we've seen the process how to find eigenvectors, for which we need to find the eigenvalues first, and then plug in each value of lambda into the equation, and then get the eigenvectors correspondingly, right? So we have looked at that. Then in the last lecture we looked at how we can diagonalize the matrix, for which we need to find the eigenvalue, then the eigenvector, find the modal matrix P, and then prove that P inverse AP is equal to D, where D is nothing but a diagonal matrix having the eigenvalues in its diagonal, right? So that's how we can diagonalize a matrix. And then we just started off with positive definite matrices, which says that a given matrix Z, uh, if we have Z transpose M into Z greater than 0, then we can say that M will be positive definite. So we just looked at a numerical last time. Now let's just look at that numerical. It's a very simple concept of uh, positive definite matrices. So I think last time in the model question paper, there was a question mentioned on this. It's a 4-mark question. Uh, but today's lecture is more on the singular value decomposition, which takes a long time to solve. So I want to do that quickly. Okay. So for the positive definite matrices, we cannot get any numericals apart from the one which I am solving. Just the values may change. Okay. So this is the second numerical on positive definite matrices. So we are given the matrix M as 2, 1, 1, 2, and we are given the matrix Z as 3 and negative 4, right? And what we need to prove about the condition that we need to have for M to be positive definite is Z transpose M Z is greater than 0, right? So from the given Z, we can find Z transpose, which will be, since it is a column matrix, we'll convert it into a row matrix as the transpose. So therefore, Z transpose MZ will now be 3, negative 4. M is 2, 1, 1, 2, and Z is 3 and negative 4. So if this multiplication turns out to be greater than 0, then we can safely say that M will be positive definite, right? So this will be multiplied as a row with the column, right? So what we'll get is 6 minus 4 and 3 minus 8, and this will multiply with 3 and negative 4. So this will be equal to 2 minus 5 multiplied with 3 and minus 4, and this will turn out to be 2 into 3 is 6, uh, and you have minus 5 into minus 4, which will be plus 20. Therefore you get 26, which is greater than 0. Therefore M is positive definite, right? So it's a simple concept. That's all we need to prove, whether that multiplication of Z transpose M into Z is greater than 0 or is it not greater than 0, right? So these are the only type of questions which we will get in terms of positive definite matrices, right? So there are few properties of the matrix, right? So in terms of the properties, so these are the properties of positive definite matrix. So there's actually just one property, and that property is that identity matrix is positive definite. So if we are given a matrix which is identity, right? So let's take an example. So we'll take an identity matrix, a 3 cross 3 matrix. So 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? Let's say Z is, which is given to us, is some A, B, and C. Therefore, Z transpose will become A, B, and C. The column matrix will convert into a row matrix there, right? So in this case, uh, so you must note here this identity matrix is the M, right? So we need to prove that Z transpose MZ, or in this case Z transpose IZ should be greater than 0, right? So I'll have Z transpose, which is A, B, and C. Then we have the matrix 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 into Z, which is A, B, and C. So if this turns out to be greater than 0, then we can say that identity matrix is positive definite, right? So here, this multiplication, so you can see what we'll get is just A, then B, and then C, because you have 1 0 0, so 1 will multiply with A, then you have 0 1 0, 1 will multiply with B, and then you have 0 0 1, which will multiply with C, and this, the last matrix is A, B, and C. So when you multiply this, you'll get A square plus B square plus C square, which is obviously always going to be greater than 0, provided A, B, C, provided A, B, and C are not equal to 0, right? So for A, B, C non-zero, the identity matrix is always going to be giving you identity matrix is always going to be positive definite, right? So this is one of the properties of the positive definite matrices, right? So it's a simple concept, okay? Uh, if you get this numerical, it will probably be for about 4 marks. If it is 3 cross 3 matrix, probably for 6 marks. Okay. Okay. So now we'll move to the last concept in this module, and that concept is known as singular value decomposition. In short, SVD. Okay. So just before we go into this, if you look at the notes which I've put in Teams group in module 5, you will see that a lot of details have been put about each of these concepts, and there are videos also, there are slides also which I've posted. Okay, so you can go through that, but the best way to learn these concepts, because it is mathematics, is to actually sit and solve. So if you solve one problem, you'll exactly know the process. Okay, so additional problems also I have solved in the videos which I have posted, and I have also posted videos of last year's model question paper from VTU. There were 2 model question papers, so I have solved all of them. So module 5 will be your question 9 and 10. Okay, so those are solved on the slide, and in the videos you will see that those questions are also solved. Okay, so you can visit that Teams group and just check out. These videos are also uploaded in the SGBIT EC YouTube uh, channel, so you can go and look at those. Okay. So very quickly, the theory part on what this SVD is, and what would be the properties and what are the steps, but completely we'll understand when we do a numerical, when we solve a numerical. Okay. So what is this SVD? Okay, singular value decomposition. It is a method to decompose rectangular matrix into three matrices. Okay, so any matrix which is given A will be of the form U. Some books use this sigma notation, but I'll be using D, V transpose, and each of these stand for, U stands for orthogonal, and I'll explain you what that is. D stands for diagonal, and V transpose also stands for orthogonal. Okay, so I'll explain you very soon what this orthogonal means, right? So A is here is the given matrix. The given matrix. Since it is a rectangular matrix, this is given matrix of size M cross N. That's why it is a rectangular matrix. U and V are orthogonal matrices as it is written, and D is the diagonal matrix. Like I was mentioning, in few books and sources over the internet, this D is also written as sigma. Okay, so it doesn't mean summation, it just means diagonal. Okay, but we'll be using the notation D so it is more clear, right? So you have U, D, V transpose, right? So what is this orthogonal matrix? An orthogonal matrix has the property A transpose, which is equal to A transpose A, which is I. So that is an orthogonal matrix. In general, I'm sure you know what is orthogonal. Orthogonal means two entities will be perpendicular to each other, right? So you can see there that A transpose is same as A transpose A, which is equal to I, right? So that is the property of the orthogonal matrix, right? So we'll see how we can decompose and what exactly happens. So what are the properties? So what are the properties of the SVD? So first properties, decomposed matrices are unique. Unique means they'll be different, right? They will not be same as any other matrix, right? U and V, these matrices U and V are column orthonormal, right? So what is this orthonormal? It is an extension of orthogonal. So in orthogonal, the two entities are 90°. In orthonormal, the two entities are 90° and their product is 1, right? So we'll see in the numerical why they are orthonormal, right? In this, the columns are U and V orthogonal. Okay, again we'll see what this means in the numerical. Okay, right now it is difficult to explain it. And then fourth, the values in D, that is the diagonal matrix, values in D are known as singular values, and they are positive and sorted in decreasing order. And sorted in decreasing order, right? So we'll see how this is done. What is this order? So we'll have this sigma 1 greater than sigma 2. That's how it is denoted. Okay, and we'll see how what this exactly means. Okay, this is just the theory part. Okay, so this was the properties of the SVD. The next is steps. That is the procedure what we need to do. Okay, again the actual procedure will come to know in when we solve the numerical that we'll be doing. It's a lengthy process, right? So we'll have to check it out. Okay, so I'll just list out the steps and then we'll go into solving a numerical. Okay, so the first step, okay, find A transpose A, right? A will be given to us. Then find eigenvalues of A transpose A and arrange them in descending order. So you must keep in mind what we are trying to do with SVD. We are trying to find this diagonal matrix, right? And we want to find that UDV transpose. We want to split that A into three parts, right? So we want to identify what is this U, we want to identify what is this D, that is the diagonal matrix, and we want to identify what is this V transpose, right? Okay. Then third step, find singular values. Find singular values, right? The singular values will be of the form, this we'll do in the numerical, right? They will be of the form sigma 1 equal to lambda 1, sigma 2 equal to root lambda 2. Okay, I'll explain you in the numerical what this means. After finding those values, find eigenvectors for each eigenvalue. Fifth, calculate U, V and D matrices. Okay, so how do we calculate this U, D and V matrices? So so we'll go step by step. So let me write this. First, U will be of the form U1, U2 and so on, right? And this will be found as 1 by sigma 1, and sigma 1 is root lambda 1, where lambda will be the eigenvalue, right? So 1 by sigma 1 A V1, 1 by sigma 2 A V2. Second, find V, which is a vector V1, V2, and this will be of the form x divided by modulus x1, where x is the eigenvector. So this will be x1, x2 modulus x2. So you'll get the values of V, where, as I told you, x1 and x2 are the eigenvectors, right? And this modulus x1 will be root of x1 square plus x2 square, and x2 modulus here will be root of x1 square plus x2 square. So you're finding the square root of the square values, addition of the square values. Okay. Then in the next part, that is the third part, is to find the diagonal. So to find the diagonal will be of the form, as we have already discussed, sigma 1, 0, 0, sigma 2, right? And you must note here that size of diagonal, that is the size of the diagonal matrix, will be equal to size of given matrix. Okay, it cannot be more or less. So this is your check. So if it A, which is given to us, is 2 cross 2, diagonal obviously has to be 2 cross 2. Okay, and then the last step, that is the sixth step, we split A as U, D, V transpose. Right. So these are the 6 steps that we need to follow to get the split or the singular value decomposition of the given matrix. Okay. So it may not be very clear with all those steps. So let us take one numerical. It's a lengthy process, so we'll be careful in solving this problem, right? So we need to find the SVD for this matrix. The A, which is given to us, is 2, 3, 0, 2. Okay. So my guess is because it's lengthy, we may only get a 2 cross 2 matrix, but let's be ready for a 3 cross 3 as well, right? So I've solved a 3 cross 3 in example in the videos which are posted. Okay. So the question is find the SVD of the given matrix, right? We need to do that. So I'll help you out, and you can solve it, and then I'll also solve. We can match the answer. So we'll go with go as steps. So step 1, find A transpose A. Find A transpose A. So A transpose A will be, so I'll transpose A, so I'll get 2 0 and then 3 2, that is A transpose, and A is 2 3 0 2. So I need to multiply this. I'll multiply this row with that column like that. Okay. So what I'll have is 2 into 2 plus 0. So I'll have 4. Then we'll have 2 into 3 plus 0, which is 6. Next we'll have 3 into 2 plus 0, which is 6. And then we'll have 2 into 3 plus 4. So that is 9 plus 4. Right. So this value will become 4 6 6 13. Okay. So since you're solving with me, let me know if that is what you get. Are you getting that?
Yes.
4 6 6 13. Okay, good. Okay. The
Yes, sir.
next step. Okay. The next step is we need to find eigenvalues of A transpose A and arrange them in descending order. Okay, so we'll arrange them in descending order a little later, but for this A transpose A, you need to find the eigenvalues. That means you need to find A minus lambda I equal to 0, right? But please be careful here. This A is not just the A which is given to us. This is actually A transpose A, right? So what we need to find is this 4 6 6 13. So I'll leave this here. This A actually means A transpose A. So you'll have 4 6 6 13 minus lambda I will give you lambda 0 0 lambda, right? For this I need to find the determinant and equate that to 0 and get the values of lambda. Okay, so please go ahead, find the values of the two lambdas you get. Then I'll also solve and we'll match the answers. Okay, so guessing you have already started to solve, so let me also solve. So what we have is we need to find the determinant 4 minus lambda 6 6 13 minus lambda and equate that to 0. So I'll have 4 minus lambda into 13 minus lambda minus 36 equal to 0. So I'll get 52 minus 4 lambda minus 13 lambda plus lambda square minus 36 is 0. Then you have lambda square minus 17 lambda plus 16 equal to 0. And you can split this into two parts. So you'll get lambda minus 1 and lambda minus 16 equal to 0. Therefore, the two lambdas which we have is lambda equal to 1 comma 16, and arranging in descending order, Arranging in descending order, lambda 1 will be 16, lambda 2 will be 1. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else getting that? 16 and 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Okay. So that was step 2, simple. It's a 2 cross 2 matrix. Find the eigenvalue and then arrange them in descending order. Please don't forget to arrange in descending order. Okay, it's used later, this order. Okay. So now we move to step 3. In step 3, find the singular values. Find the singular values, that is, find sigma 1, which is root lambda 1, which is root 16, which is 4, and find sigma 2, which is root lambda 2, which is root 1, which is 1. Keep the positive values. Okay. So these are the two values of the sigma. These are the singular values. Okay. So these sigmas here, these two sigmas, these are your singular values. Okay. So that's an easy step. Next is step 4. Find eigenvector for each eigenvalue. So I'll rewrite the matrix for you. What we do in eigenvector is A minus lambda I into X is 0, right? So I'll write A minus lambda I for you for reference. So you have 4 minus lambda, 6, 6, 13 minus lambda, and you have X. So you have 2x, which is you'll have x1 and x2, because you have a 2 cross 2 matrix and you have 0 and 0, right? So you need to find the two eigenvectors, right? So the first one is you find the vector when lambda 1 is 16, that means when lambda is 16, and the second one you solve when lambda is 1. Okay, so do that and let's see what answers we get, what vectors we get. Okay, so I hope you started already, so I'll proceed now. So let me do the first one. We have lambda equal to 16. So for this we'll have 4 minus 16, 6, 6, 13 minus 16 into x1, x2 equal to 0, 0. So we get negative 12, 6, 6, negative 3, x1, x2 equal to 0, 0. From here we get two equations. So we'll have negative 12x1 plus 6x2 equal to 0. 6x1 minus 3x2 equal to 0. So from here we get negative 12x1 equal to negative 6x2. So 2x1 is x2. Therefore, now we can write the vector x1 which is x1 and x2. So x1 and x2. So we know that x1 by x2, if I extend this here, x1 divided by x2 will be 1 by 2. Therefore, I can replace that x1 and x2 in the vector as 1. If x1 is 1, then x2 is going to be 2. Right? So this is the first eigenvector that we have. Are you getting that? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
sir.
good. Huh? We getting right? Okay. Next, let's do the second eigenvector, that is lambda equal to 1. So you have 4 minus lambda, so 4 minus 1, 6, 6, 13 minus lambda, so 13 minus 1. Then you have x1, x2. This is 0 and 0. So this will become 3, 6, 6, 12 into x1, x2. That will be 0, 0. So we get two equations here. You have 3x1 plus 6x2 equal to 0, and 6x1 plus 12x2 equal to 0. So from these equations, I can get 3x1 equal to negative 6x2, or x1 equal to negative 2x2. Therefore, if I divide x1 and x2, x1 by x2 will give me negative 2 by 1. For the second eigenvector x2, which should have x1 and x2, will be negative 2 and 1. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else getting that? Just waiting for another one. Another student, if anyone is getting it, then we'll go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so we've got the two eigenvectors as well. So this was step 4. Now we have step 5. In step 5, we have 3 steps, right? So totally we have 6 steps. So in the first, just to recap, in the first step, we found A transpose A. In the second step, we found the eigenvalues of A transpose A. In the third step, from those eigenvalues, we find singular values by finding the square root. In the fourth step, we have found the eigenvectors for each eigenvalue. Right? Now we come to the fifth step, and in the fifth step, we have 3 sub-steps. So the first one is to find u, and u is given as 1 by sigma 1 a v1 and 1 by sigma 2 a v2. That's how we can find u. So let's first find u, and then we'll go to the next 2 steps, right? So here sigma 1 is 4 and sigma 2 is 1, right? So please remember that sigma is root lambda. So our sigma 1 is root lambda 1, which is 16. Therefore you get 4, and sigma 2 is root 1, which is 1, right? So that's how we get those values there. Okay. So sigma 1 and sigma 2 are known. A is given to us, which is 2302. V we can find, or V1 can be found as x1 divided by the magnitude of x1, and V2 can be found as x2 divided by magnitude of x2. Right? Where x1 and x2, so magnitude of x1 is square root of x1 square root of x1 square plus x2 square. So this will be root of, so we'll have to get the two values of x1, right? So x1 has the two values, which is 1 and 2. If you look at the vectors, right? Look at the vectors, you have 1 and 2, right? x1 is 1 and 2, column vector 1 and 2, right? Therefore the x1 value that we get is 1 square, which is the first value, plus 2 square. Therefore, you get root 5. Right. Similarly, magnitude of x2 is again you get from the eigenvectors. If you see the eigenvectors, then x2 is negative 2 and 1, right? So what we'll get is negative 2 square plus 1 square. This will again give you 5, right? So that's how we can find x1 and x2, and the x1 and x2 on the numerator here for v1 and v2, this part here, x1 and x2 here, this we already know, these are the eigenvectors. Okay, so we'll see how we can evaluate that value. Okay, so let us see how we can get v1. So v1 is x1 divided by the magnitude of x1, which we have calculated, which is root 5, right? And we know what are the values of x1, right? So x1 is your vector v1, and it has the value 1, and let me write it this way, 1 2, and you have root 5, right? Therefore v1 will be a vector. You have 1 divided by root 5, so 1 by root 5, and 2 divided by root 5, which is 2 by root 5. So that will give you v1. Similarly, you get v2, which is x2 divided by root 5. And if you look at x2, the value is negative 2 and 1, right? Which we have calculated in the previous step. So you have negative 2, 1 divided by root 5. Therefore, v2 is root 2 by 5 and 1 by root 5. I think this is negative 2. Okay. So negative 2 and 1. So this is negative 2 and 1. So we get negative root 2 by 5. Okay, so that's how we can find the values of v1 and v2. Okay, so now we can get the value of u, because now we have all the values. Okay, so what do you need to calculate the value of u? You need 1 by sigma 1, we know sigma 1, into a, we know a, v1 we have just calculated. Similarly, sigma 2, then a, and then v2, right? So now we can calculate the value of u. Okay, so let us go step by step and see what answers we can get, right? So u is 1 by sigma 1 a v1, 1 by sigma 2 a v2, right? So we've calculated the value of v1 and v2. Okay, they are there in front of your screen, so I'll just bracket them. This is v1 and this is v2. You already
Sir,
have sigma. Yes,
minus 2 by root minus
minus
2 by root 5.
minus 2. Which one? V1 or V2?
V2, sir.
V2. I've written minus. 1 second. Minus 2.
Minus
Sorry.
2 by
Okay.
root.
Okay. Sorry. Minus 2 by root 5. Okay. Thank you. 2 by root 5. Okay. Now it's correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have V1 and V2. You have sigma 1. You have A. Just multiply and see what answers you get for U. Okay. So let me know what answer you get for U1 and what answer you get for U2. I'll just give you a minute. You just have to multiply and see. Okay, so I hope you are able to solve it. Okay, let me proceed.
Equal to
Uh,
2 and 1, sir.
2 and 1. Let's see. Okay.
It's 1 by root 5, 2 by root 5, minus
Uh,
1.
yeah. Okay. Let me also
4 by
solve.
root.
Okay. So you check with me. Okay. So first I'll calculate u1. So this is u1, and then we'll calculate u2. Okay. So u1. So u1 will be 1 by sigma 1, where sigma 1 is 4. So 1 by 4. A is 2302, and v1, as we can see, is 1 by root 5 and 2 by root 5. Right. So we need to multiply this. So you'll get 1 by 4. Then you'll get 2 into 1 by root 5. Right. So you'll get 2 by root 5 plus 3 into 2 by root 5, so 6 by root 5. Then second you'll get 0 into 1 by root 5, so you have 0 by root 5 plus 2 into 2 by root 5, so 4 by root 5, right? So you get here 1 by 4, 8 by root 5 and 4 by root 5. Therefore, if you multiply u1, you'll get as 2 by root 5 and 1 by root 5. Are you getting that for u1? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good. Similarly, we can get u2 as well. So 1 by sigma 1 is 1 by 1. A is 2302, and v2 is minus 2 by root 5 and 1 by root 5. Right? So we'll get 1. So I'll leave the 1 because you just multiply. So you get minus 4 by root 5 plus 3 by root 5, then 0 plus 2 by root 5. So we get minus 1 by root 5 and 2 by root 5. Are you getting that as u2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So overall u is nothing but u1, u2. Therefore u will become, now I'll get u1, which is 2 by root 5, 1 by root 5, right? And then u2, which is 1 by negative 1 by root 5 and 2 by root 5. So this is the matrix U, right? So this part here which I'm dotting now is u1, and that part which I'm dotting now is u2. So we have the answer for u. Yes, are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine. Okay. Second is we need to find v, and v is x1 by magnitude of x1, comma x2 by magnitude of x2, right? So we have the values of x1 and x2. So let me scroll up. So this is where we have found it. Okay. So magnitude of x1 here we have found it is root 5. Magnitude of x2 is also root 5. We already know the matrices, that is x1, right? So x1 is nothing but 1 and 2, right, in a column vector, and x2 is nothing but minus 2 and 1 in the column vector, right? So only thing is that will just divide by root 5, right? So here v that we'll get is 1 and 2, which is x1, but you need to divide it by magnitude, and magnitude of x1 is root 5, so you get 1 by root 5, 2 by root 5. Similarly, x2 that we have is negative 2 and 1, and divided by magnitude of x2, so you have root 5 and root 5. So that is v. That is v. Right? I hope this was clear. Okay, we have already found the values before. Okay. And the third is to find the diagonal matrix, and we know that diagonal is nothing but sigma 1 0 0 sigma 2, and therefore this will be sigma 1 is 4 0 0 4. Sorry, sigma 2 is 1. Right? So this is your diagonal. Okay, so therefore the last step that we have, that is step 6. Step 6 is A should be U D V transpose, right? That means we are able to split A as matrix U, which is 2 by root 5, 1 by root 5, minus 1 by root 5, 2 by root 5, which is U, D, which is 4001. Okay, please note here, D is not just lambda values, it is singular values here, right? So this here, diagonal matrix here, this is of singular values. Okay, so please don't make a mistake. So you need to put singular values here. This is singular value and that is a singular value. Okay, and this entire matrix, this diagonal is known as a singular value matrix. Okay, and then V transpose. So we need to transpose V. So let me just scroll up and show you V. So you have 1 by root 5 and 2 by root 5, right? So you'll get 1 by root 5 and 2 by root 5 will move here, and then you have negative 2 by root 5 and 1 by root 5. So you will get here negative 2 by root 5, 1 by root 5, right? So this is your A. So we are able to split A, given A, into 3 parts. So one is the U, the other is the singular value or the diagonal, and the third is V transpose. Okay, so obviously we can check the answer. If you multiply those 3 matrices on the RHS, you should get the matrix A, right? So as I told you, this is a lengthy process. Okay, you need to be very careful. You should have all the data with you, right, when you are solving this. Like singular value, D, A value of A transpose, and so on, right? So all that data needs to be with you. Okay, and then please don't make any mistakes on that. Okay, so it takes a lot of time to solve it. Okay, but if you solve it correctly, you'll end up with the full marks, right? Okay, so I'll give you one problem for practice. Okay, and the same has been done in the same has been solved in the numericals, which I have uploaded on the MS Teams. Okay.